Hello, thanks for taking a couple minutes. You know, Jesus said this, in this world you will have tribulation, but be of good cheer, I've overcome the world. Well, we can't even imagine what the disciples were feeling when they were all sitting in the upper room. And Jesus had let them know that he was going to be betrayed. Judas had already left the room. And we find out that Peter had been warned that he would deny the Lord 3 times, and the rooster would crow as a sign that the third denial had happened. And then Jesus, though, in love and compassion towards them, let them know, no matter how difficult it gets, don't let your heart get overwhelmed. Here's what he said in John chapter 14, verse 1. Let not your heart be troubled. Is that a word for you today? Receive it as though Jesus just spoke that over you. Don't let your heart get troubled. Sometimes our mind can get a little bit out of control, but don't let it get down into your heart. He says this, believe in God. Believe also in me. Just decide in your heart today, I'm not going to let this get down into my heart. God, I will believe you just because of who you are. Believe in God. And then Jesus says, believe also in me. Believe in the one who loves us so much that he would actually die on the cross so that we could have eternal joy. Here's what he says then, in my Father's house are many dwelling places. If it were not so, I would have told you, for I go to prepare a place for you. Jesus is letting them know that there is a hope that abides in the heart of every believer, that this life is only temporary. Yes, we continue to walk in faith, believing God for great things and for blessings in this life. But we also know that this world is not our home. We're just passing through. And that Jesus is letting his disciples know that in his Father's house are many dwelling places. Now that word is so interesting there. In the King James Version, it says that there are mansions, which is, not the full meaning of the word, but it's not outside the meaning of the word. It doesn't mean just a room. It actually means homes or abodes. They're beautiful places in God's house. And there are places for each and every one of us that someday we're going to call them home. Jesus is actually making them to fit our tastes, our desires, the things that we love. Just like any husband would do for his bride, Jesus is making the best home possible. Isn't that just a beautiful thought? He says, there are many dwelling places. If it were not so, I would have told you, for I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you to myself, that where I am, there you may be also. Jesus is saying, hey, I'm not going to be visible for a while, but he's also telling them, I'm going to receive you to myself. If you look at the original language there in the Greek, Jesus is saying, I will receive you so that you are positioned face to face with me. That place that Jesus has made for us is going to be a wonderful place. But do you also realize this? That what Jesus is looking forward to is eternal face-to-face encounter with his children. There might be a season where they're going to feel as though, Jesus, we can't see you right now. But Jesus is saying, hey, you got a home. I'm coming for you. I'm looking forward to it. But the best part of it is going to be our face-to-face encounter. When we get to heaven, you know what we're going to want to see? Jesus. And he loves you today. You might not see him, but you've got a home. Let that hope fill your heart. Even if you're in a season where your mind is doubting, believe in God, believe in Jesus.